Please like the page, share the page. Really appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in. Much love and respect to the good energy people. Hey. We got a hot, nice topic for you. To all the good energy people, if you got your ear bugs in your ear, that'd be great. Wherever you are, you might be in the area where there's a lot going on. Put your earbuds in, put your earphones on, Bluetooth, your earpieces, and all that good stuff. And rock out with us tonight on this very interesting topic. Little discussion. We may have a few phone calls coming in today. Much love and respect. Thank you so much if you can share and like the page now. Thank you. If you're here, please, if you can hear my voice, could you please put a 1 in the chat so that we can have the sound right at this time? Thank you. Over there on YouTube, if you need to watch on YouTube, it's David Adams Podcast on YouTube. Please go over there and share the link. Share the page, please. Like the page. Thank you. It means a lot if you can tap the video instead of trying to watch the video from afar. Please tap the video so that you will be chimed in as or engaged while the video is live. Thanks a lot, my man Freddie Taylor. Peace and blessings. Thank you for chiming in. One of the #1 followers of D.A.P. We appreciate you, bro. Much love and respect. Do me a favor and share the page for me. Freddie, I appreciate that. If you can do that. Good looking out. Few seconds, we're gonna be live. We already live, but a few seconds we're gonna start this thing. The topic is basically now, why do men tend to date, go after younger women? Why is that? It's a reason for that. I think there is a reason for that. And I think we all may know the reason, but we all have our own perspectives, our own analogies and perceptions of that reason. So please do me the favor and share the page, like the page, share this page with someone who may think this is an interesting topic too, that they can put their 2 or 5 cents in also. It's much appreciated. Much love. My name is David Adams, the host of D.A.P. David Adams Podcast will be soon called The Perspective. D.A. Perspective. Much love and respect. So, once again, do me the favor, if you can, like and share the page. Peace and blessings to those that are here. If you're watching afar, we encourage you to tap the video so that it will be recognized as time being watched on the video. It's much appreciated. Thank you so much. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. So we may have a few phone calls that come in. I'll let you know for those who are on standby, waiting to call. I'll put the number up on the screen when it's time for the phone call to come in. And And once that happens, you can go ahead and call once I put that phone number up on the screen. Thank you again. The topic, once again, is why do men tend to date? They tend to go after, love, or marry younger women. What is the reason for that? And, of course, there is going to be all types of perspectives on that particular topic. There's going to be, a lot of pushback of why men date younger women, and it's understandable. I mean, of course, the pushback will be understandable. So, my analogy or my perspective on that particular subject is, I think that it has always been, since the beginning of time, that men have always dealt with younger women than themselves. We talking 5 years younger, 7 years younger, 8 and 9 and 10 years younger. I'm not speaking now. It all depends on the culture. Also, a lot of times it has to do with the culture. Although they do have, they have the law at the age of 18 as saying that that woman or that young girl or that young lady is legal. All right, they say she's legal at 18. That is a law. That is a law. So by law, she's legal at 18. Maybe in different places or different parts of the world, it may be a different age. I don't know. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. But that age of 18 in America is supposed to be legal. Okay. So even though it's legal on, by law, but there may be situations where the culture don't look at it as it's right at that age. The culture, so depending on the culture you're from. So there's different places in the world that say, okay, she could be 14 and have babies or deal with an older man older than her. There are arranged marriages and things like that where they marry or push a woman into marrying a family because that family may be rich or something like that, or have a certain bloodline that they want their family to marry into a particular family. So there are arranged marriages and arranged dating and courting and stuff like that as well. So it depends on, I feel, the culture. So in the black culture here in America, I think that we tend to look at the idea of a older man dating a younger woman, depending on the age, will determine the what? Oh no, or the the pushback. So I've heard of a situation where a man is 63 years old and I think it was 62, something like that, but he actually married a younger woman at the age of, I think she was 18, something like that. So that's a really big age gap. So of course her family was like, what the hell are you doing? You know what I mean? His family was, kind of, leery but kind of okay with it at the same time because they know he's an older man, blah, blah, blah. So there's a whole bunch of things that go around it, like far as what people think about it. They're going to get a whole bunch of pushback. Definitely. So you get people saying things like, okay, she's with that older man because she want to get that bag. All right. There are things like saying things like he only want that young girl because he can control her. He can manipulate her, dominate her, or whatever the case may be. He can groom her and things of that nature. So I would like for, at this time, if you can do me the favor, for those who would like to be a part of this conversation. I think I have a young lady that's waiting to come in on this conversation. Her name is Adele. And Adele, if you can go ahead and call in to the show right now, and we can have a conversation on this particular topic. Thank you. I appreciate it. So we're going to wait and welcome Adele to come on. Much love and respect. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you, Yolanda, Tanya, Lisa. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Now, if you can do me the favor, y'all, if you can like the page and share the page, I really appreciate it. If you can do that now. Thanks a lot. Don't just look at the video from afar. Press the video and watch the video. I appreciate it. Watch the live. That has a lot to do with the algorithm. It has a lot to do with supporting when you press the video. The number is on the screen. It's going to be 973-433-5666. Adele, if you are willing to call in, anyone who is willing to call in, you can. No, you have to call the phone number. The phone number is on here on the screen, Adele. Refresh the page, which is the David Adams page, and you can see the phone number, which is the first status on my page, David Adams. For those over there on YouTube, much love and blessings. I appreciate those who has been supporting from the beginning. Much love and respect. Much love, Yolanda. Thank you for the hearts. Much love. So again, the topic is, why do men tend to go after, date, pursue, court, or marry younger women than themselves? Why is that? You can call in now and give your analogy on that particular topic. The number again, 973-433-5666. So I'm waiting for a phone call. Waiting for a phone call. Who is not shy or afraid to speak on that topic? We get a lot of pushback, men in particular. I'm not saying me, because I don't really date really young girls. So I'm speaking to those men who don't mind dating younger women. There are some people that date really young women, and I don't believe there's nothing wrong with it, especially if it's not a young girl, like she's 16, 17 years old and you 45. And that's something different. You know what I mean? Okay, I got the call coming in now. So for those who are chimed in, please, again, press on the video to watch the video. Peace and blessings. Who's there? Hold on. Give me 1 minute. Can you hear me? Hello? Okay, the phone keeps hanging up. The phone keeps hanging up. I don't know why. But the number again is 973-433-5666. If you're trying to call. Okay, I got call the number now. So for those who are the number again, the number is on the screen, Adele, right underneath my picture, which is 973-433-5666. I'm gonna put it in the comment, boy. Maybe you're not on the live. I'm gonna put it on there now. 973-433-5666. Okay. Thank you for those who tuned in. I appreciate it. Once again, if you can share the page, if you can like the page, I appreciate it. I only see one share. So I see a little more people than that on here. Please do me the favor and share the page. Thank you so much. So what's your take on it? Since the beginning of time, men been dating younger women. But it seemed as though there's a lot of flack, there's a lot of pushback when it comes to.
Call from.
All right. Okay. Who we have on the phone?
This is Adele.
Hey, Adele, what's going on? Let's give Adele a round of applause for chiming in. A lot of people are, kind of timid and talking about subjects like this, but I appreciate, Adele. I want to let you know that now. I appreciate you willing to call in on this particular topic. Maybe this phone call or this conversation can possibly help somebody else that's dealing with the situation of the age gap. So what is it that you want to say regarding men dating younger women?
Well, I just think that people should date within their maturity age. I mean, people who are younger, especially 62 to 18, that's basically your daughter or possibly your granddaughter. So on the flip side, when you think about it, the parents have the right to be upset because if that is a person that's more mature, they have more life experience, and your child has not even had life experience. And all the experience that this person is going to have is going to come from one person. That's not fair to the young person. Young people have to grow and develop in the way that they have to grow and develop.
Okay.
And having an older person kind of groom them is just not the way people should develop. I have children, adult children. One of them is 30 and one of them is 23. I would be livid if any one of them dated someone that was older than me or my same age, because I would know that having gone through all the stages of life, I know that the balance is not fair. That older person is going to know more, have had more life experience, and that's not the same thing that they would be given to that child. And so, men or women do it too. It's just not fair to the person that's on the young person that's on the receiving end, that they are not going to mature and grow in the way that they're supposed to, and they're not going to be able to get their parents' advice because they're going to be looking to this older person for advice over their parents' advice and guidance.
I get it. Okay, that's a great point. I appreciate your point on that. But I'm going to play devil's advocate, and I want to show you something real quick that may help you look at some things a little differently. Now, when I mentioned earlier, I mentioned about arranged marriages. That went on back in the day, way back in the day. You know what I mean? In some countries, they still do that for a very good reason. You said that, I'm not talking about that big old gap because I'm not really that big gap. I'm against that as well. You know what I mean? 62-year-old and the 17, 18-year-old. You know what I mean? That's kind of crazy. You know what I mean? But that happens. It definitely happens. What do you say to the young girl who may be young, 18, 19-year-old, in and out of relationships, dating, and they have the mindset of a young girl like this? Let me just show this to you real quick. Okay, this is the mindset of this young lady right here. I want to see what do you have to say regarding this. Let's see.
Never been attracted to older men strictly because I hate how they treat younger women, and I see a lot of it. Because, you know, older men really only want younger women because they're supposed to be easier to manipulate.
Of course.
And I've never been someone who's easy to manipulate. So me and them, like, man, we like, no, I'm not gonna say them men, them niggas, we just get into it because I'm like, you're not gonna tell me what the fuck to do, and you're not gonna make me skip chapters of my life trying to kick it with your old ass.
Big facts.
Just because you damn near 30 and you want to be in the house every weekend. I'm young and sexy, bitch. Like, I'm outside every night. Yeah, I'm drunk again. Yeah, I'm with my homegirls again. Yeah, I'm gonna wear this. I know it's too short. I did deal with someone older. I was 21 and he was like 35. I've never been attracted
Now,
to
now notice
men
how
strictly
at the end of that, she said, "I did date an older man. He was 35, and I think she said 21. Am I correct? Can you hear me, Adele? Are you there?
Yes, yep.
Oh, okay.
I'm here. Yep, that's what she said.
Right. Okay. And
I'm here.
Okay. Yeah. And before she said that regarding the older guy, listen again to what she said. I want you to hear it really
Never
clear.
been attracted to older men strictly because I hate how they treat younger women, and I see a lot of it. Because, you know, older men really only want younger women because they're supposed to be easier to manipulate.
Of course.
And I've never been someone who's easy to manipulate. So me and them, like, man, we like, no, I'm not gonna say them men, them niggas, we just get into it because I'm like, you're not gonna tell me what the fuck to do, and you're not gonna make me skip chapters of my life trying to kick it with your old ass.
Big facts.
Just because you damn near 30 and you want to be in the house every weekend. I'm young and sexy, bitch. Like, I'm outside every night. Yeah, I'm drunk again. Yeah, I'm with my homegirls again. Yeah, I'm gonna wear this. I know it's too short. I did deal with someone older. I was 21 and he was like 35.
Damn.
Bye.
All right. So now, just looking at the mindset of those back in the day, I just want to just look at this perspective for a minute. Having an emotional young girl out in the world with that mindset of being loose, she said in her own words, "Yeah, I'm outside. Yeah, I'm drunk again. Yeah, I know it's too short, but you're not going to make me basically, lose chapters in my life." And now, for instance, if she dating an older man, right, versus a younger guy, you might change your analogy if she's 21 and she's dating a guy who is 21 who don't mind her being out there like that, doing all that crazy stuff, getting drunk and all that stuff. So that chapter of her life, maybe that older guy that might be 8, 9 years older than her, 7 years older than her, can help guide her in the right direction before she make a whole bunch of mistakes in her life in her 20s. You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, David.
Okay, yeah. Now, hear me out.
Life in your 20s is all about making mistakes.
Why do it have to be? And I noticed that, I noticed that a lot of elder women usually help convince younger women, do all you can while you in your 20s. Basically, have fun. Hell with somebody holding you back, do your thing. But then they end up with 3 or 4 children in that process of doing what they want to do in that chapter that she's speaking of, which is a whole bunch of looseness. What do you say to that?
It doesn't have to be looseness. When you are 21, you deserve to go out and have fun. To have somebody to try to fault that is a mistake.
Okay, because so let me cut you off 1 minute.
In your 20s,
let me cut you off 1 minute. So having an older man that she may be, I'm like I said, I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm not condoning that big age gap of men dating women 40 years older. I'm not, I want you to hear me out. Say the 7-8 year gap, and you find out that your daughter is dating that particular man, and all he is telling her, like she's saying, yeah, my shorts is too low. I know that. Is it wrong for him to help correct her? Would you be mad at that young man for trying to correct her behavior and how she portrays herself as a young lady in the streets?
I
Because the reason why I'm saying that.
Believe,
Go ahead.
yeah, but I believe that at 21, even though you're legally older, you're still not mature enough, and it's the parents' job to give them that guidance.
That's true. I agree. But you know how it is when the young girl is young. She thinks she hot. She thinks she, the bomb and all that good stuff, and she ain't listening to nothing. There's situations where she not listening.
As they should do, David.
Right. I'm saying she feel like she's the bomb, and she's not listening to anything concerning her parents. This young guy who is a little older than her may have her under his wing, and she locked in on him and don't give a damn what mama and daddy is saying. Let's keep it real. There's a lot of situations that's like that. Wouldn't you want that young man to guide her if she's not listening to y'all?
No, I would not. I would want him to stand down,
right,
and let me finish raising my child.
At 21.
They are young adults.
Right.
They're not full adults. People who are 35 are at a different stage in their life.
Right. So you're talking from a person who is like 10 or 15 years older than her. Correct?
Yeah, my daughter right now is 23.
Right.
If she was to start dating a guy that was 35, I would be livid.
I know that's right.
Because he has already lived life.
Mm-hmm.
The things that things that you go through in your 20s help you to grow. If you never go through those things, you don't know. You might be stunting your own growth. You don't know who you are because you're not given the freedom to express yourself.
So what do you mean you're not given the freedom to express yourself from a young woman's perspective? What do you mean? Because
if you have a guy that's older, yes. If you have a guy that's older and he's trying to mold you, that means that young lady is not she's not having the freedom to know who she is. She's going to be who he's trying to make her be.
Okay. And that's a good point. I'm glad you brought that point up. Your mother and father, was your mother younger than your father?
My mother and my father were almost about the same age.
Okay.
1 year difference.
Okay.
My stepfather, however, I have a stepfather.
Right.
My stepfather was 15 years older than my mother.
Right. See, I wanted to bring that up because in that time, that was the thing. The reason being is because men that had wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and a way to provide, they had their thing together. Men are not really that valuable until they're in their 30s and 40s, right?
David,
I'm listening.
However,
go ahead.
You're assuming that men who are at 30 are mature.
Right.
That I will also challenge.
Okay.
Because some men at 30 are not mature.
I
And
agree.
they don't have the right
I
to
agree.
to mold a young lady. They're not even mature themselves, especially if they don't have children.
Right. What if he is? See, I think that I notice that we always bring up the scenarios that's all the way negative when it comes to men dating women that's a little younger than them. You hear all of the worst case scenarios in that situation, but you never hear none of the positives in that situation. You notice that? Why is that?
Yes. If my daughter was 30, if my daughter was 30
Mhm.
and the guy was 40, I would accept that more.
Right. Okay. If your daughter was 30 and he
But
was 10 years older,
but
you accept that more.
but
Got it.
but 21, you're still finding out who you
It's
are.
a no go. Got you. So 30-year-old is good if she was to marry or date, court, and then marry a man who is 60. That's cool too, or no?
That I have to think about that, but I'm just going to go into my sexist bag here. A man that's 50
Mhm.
and a woman that's 30 might be evenly matched. Simply
Okay.
because women mature faster.
Okay.
But by the time a woman is 30, she's more mature.
Okay. I can see that.
21, you're not.
Right.
21, you're still trying to figure out life. You're trying to figure out who you are.
Mhm. You don't think there's
30,
any you don't think
women
there's
who are 30
Mhm.
are more mature.
Right. You don't think there's any 25-year-olds, 24-year-old women that's mature?
When when I was 25, I was very mature.
Okay.
I had a son.
Mm-hmm.
I was mature. I was working towards a career.
Right.
But the opportunity to date somebody that was older did not really appeal to me because I always felt like we didn't have things in common.
Got it. Okay.
Whereas whereas when I was 25, I may still want to go out every weekend. He may want to watch movies all the time.
Mm-hmm. So, do you know why? I think we had a conversation a few days ago. It was on the post, or I think it was yesterday.
Mhm.
But why do you think men date younger women?
I think that they're just trying to escape the maturity of relationships. If
Mm,
you are 40, you know that you don't have things in common with you should not have things in common with 20-year-olds.
right.
Now, I dated a man that was younger than me. I have.
Okay. And
We
how
have
did
things in common,
right?
and
How
we
did
have
that?
things not in common.
How old were you? What was the age gap?
It was I was I was around 40 and he was around 30.
Okay, so that was
We had
10,
some
10
things in
years.
common,
10 years.
but
So
I was further in my career.
Mhm.
Yeah.
so
So
so were you? Be honest. Was it maybe a little bit more younger than 30? Because you hesitated a little bit on that. You hesitated on
he was
30.
10 years younger than me.
Okay, he was
He's
10
still
years
10
younger.
years younger than
All
me.
right. So
Yeah.
was that a fulfilling relationship far as y'all being on the same page? Was he mature?
Well, he he fulfilled the he fulfilled the younger part of me,
Right.
but he didn't fulfill the other parts of me where you could come home, talk about jobs and talk about your career. Those
Right.
type of things are not there.
Right. So he didn't
So
talk
I
about
don't even see why men would want a woman that you can't even they can't relate.
Mhm. Well, let me just let you hear some of the things that this young lady said regarding older men dating younger women. Okay.
Generous contribution to
Here
my
we
channel
go. This
on
is
Cash App.
the
Thank you
young
for your
lady
continued
here. She's
support.
she's
Please
an
know that
older
you are
lady. She's an
greatly
older lady, but she's gonna be
If you'd like
talking
to
about
contribute,
how
I'll put
she
the link in the
feel
description box below.
men
A lot of
are
grown men
that's
date
older.
young girls to avoid that grown woman pressure. See, every man want to believe that he's an alpha man until it's time to do what alpha men do, like provide, protect, produce. So when that grown woman put pressure on that wannabe alpha man, who's usually a weak man, he runs to a weaker woman. The woman that he can control her mind, the woman that self-esteem is low, the woman he can manipulate, use, and abuse. Yes, that woman. See, ladies, you could be too much for a man. You could be too independent. You could be too accomplished. You could be too established. You could be too confident that you have to send that man back to the basic women that they're comfortable with. And when you finally let that man go, you will realize that he had absolutely nothing to offer from day one, only lies and disappointments. Which means that you had everything he wanted. He had nothing. Ladies, be smart, date smart, choose wisely, and remember, I told you.
What do you think about that? Hearing that from her, Adele?
I will have to say that I would have to agree with her that eventually you will find that you don't have too much in common with that person.
Hmm.
You will see that. Not that they're manipulating them on purpose, right? So even when I was in a relationship with a younger man, I always wanted to grow him up faster than he needed to be.
But were you manipulating him? Could it be that you were
No, I'm
manipulating
not a
that young man
manipulative person.
after he's 10 years younger? You didn't think that you were manipulating him? Why is it that, when a man deal with a woman that's 10 years younger, so he got to be manipulating him. He's trying to control
So
him.
what
You
women
understand?
do, because it's different for women.
Why is
So
it different?
women, they don't try to manipulate men, but what they will do, as I will say in my case,
Hmm.
and it was a mistake too,
Hmm.
is we try to grow that man up faster than what he needed to be.
Right. You don't think women tend to
So
manipulate
we
men?
want to push him into the areas that we want. We know.
Go ahead. I
We
did.
know they're not ready.
Right.
We know they're not ready,
Right.
but we try to push them so that eventually they will be a little equal to us.
Got it. Okay. So do you think because some women may tend to look at it more of the negatives. There are people, society, period, look at it more negatives. You don't hear no positives in a situation again when it comes to a man that's 10, 8, 7, 10, 15, 20, 30 years older than the woman. You hear nothing positives. Are there any positives in a situation like that? Just as it was possibly a few positives in a situation with an older woman dating a younger man.
Well, the positive is that I think that the older man will teach her things and will give her good advice from his learning.
Hmm. Okay. And what
But
would be
I
some of
still
those?
think that that's the parent's job.
Right. Well, if she's 30,
It's not.
I don't think that the parents have too much control or parenting over her at that particular time. If she's 30, by then she may have kids already, whatever the case may be. So, and dealing with a man older than her and she's 30, I think the parents is basically cut out of that a little bit. You know what I mean? Of course, she's going to get advice from the parents here and there, but at the end of the day, it's going to be her decision at that age. Younger, 21, yeah, I can see that. 22 even, I can see that. Yeah. But a little older than that, I can't see parents being having no type of, that much influence over her decisions when she become that age.
But David,
Go ahead.
think about when you were 30.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When you were 30, you've been 30 and you've been your age. It's not that you're a different person. So that man has to recognize that young lady, even if she's 30, is still growing.
Okay. But wouldn't you?
Is he going to allow her to grow and be the person that she's supposed to be?
Okay, what do you mean grow? What you mean grow? Explain grow at 30.
Growing means, maturing in thought. And at 30, you're still getting your career together.
Well,
You're
at
still
20
thinking
at 25,
about how you
Adele.
want your life to be.
But Adele, at 25, you had your thing together. You was mature. Your career was on the road. Do you think a woman's supposed to wait until she's 40 to deal with a man, a relationship, a marriage, and date at 40 after the fact, especially if she don't have no children?
Well,
the reason why men tend to date and go after younger women, I think it's the obvious. First of all, younger women look good and appealing to them. It's like a natural instinct in a man because she's fertile, she's fluffy, her skin is smooth and beautiful and all that good stuff. Those are the reasons why men tend to go after them. And most times, if they are young, it's if there are men that are in their 28, 30 years old, most times they're looking to possibly have children as well. So that's a natural instinct in men to go after fertile women. So some people say things like, well, why are you going after that young girl? She's 7 years younger than him. He 30 and she, 20-something? Or she 23, 24. But why? In your mother's and father's age, they was getting pregnant purposely, wanting to have children at 20, 21, at 22. Because that's the youthful age that the body is ready to take on children and build a family. That's the whole thing. And I think that in the next few years, there's going to be a great population of women not having any kids because of the scare of getting with a man and having a baby. Don't have no baby. Get your career. And then when they get older, they tend to be like, oh, they can't have no kids because the reproductive system is shutting down.
But David,
I'm listening.
don't you think that relationships that last are the ones that are not based on looks? Looks fade.
I agree.
You have to have somebody that's going to be your intellectual partner.
I totally agree. But Adele, men are visual by nature. They are visual by nature.
You guys
and
are very
you,
dumb. That is why you guys can't always pick right mate.
Right, but but my point I'm making is, the topic is, why does men go after younger women? It's a natural instinct in them to go after fresh, fertile women. When you were younger, Adele, as a woman, there were many men coming after you. Am I right? All ages.
I agree.
Right. So say when you walked into a room as a young girl at 22, 23 years old, and say you were the fresh face in the place. You was the new face. You was the new woman in the place, and you walk in the room, and boom, everybody, all the men, all ages, definitely the older men. Whoa, who was that? And you can feel the eyes on you, correct?
True.
And then you may even hear the whispers of who? The elder women that were older than you, looking at you with the stink face, correct?
Exactly. Yeah.
Have you experienced? You laughing because you know I'm right. So they looking at you with the stink face. Why? Because Adele is youthful, and they too used to be youthful. And a woman youth is powerful. A woman's youth is valuable. It was always said women are born with their value, right? So this is what men look at. It's like, whoa, men like a youthful
That's because
woman.
men, yeah, you're like you said, men are visual. But in the long run, that young person won't be able. Sometimes young ladies in their 20s, they can't do the things that older women can do. They won't do the things that older women can do.
How so? I mean, so now you're assuming,
be a good mate with it.
but you're assuming all young women are not idiots. Just like you were 25. Were you an idiot at 25? Were you loose in the head at 25?
Absolutely not.
Okay,
Absolutely
this is my
not.
point I'm making.
When I was 25, I actually did not like older men. I've never really dated older men.
Right. Okay, but my point is, it seemed like people tend to always look at the negatives of that scenario. You never hear the positives of an elder man with a younger woman. I'm not talking about 64 and 18. I'm against that. All right? Let's be clear. So you never hear that. So those whispers.
Well, I've never seen too many relationships prosper when people are that young.
Hell, I mean, our parents, parents been together. Some of them been together for 40, 50, 60, 70 years. And it prospered. And they started out young. The man may have been 25 coming out of the Army or the Navy or whatever. And the girl may have been 16, 17 years old. And he actually took them away from their parents, their mother's parents, because they had 12 or 13 kids in the family. So the families back then was happy as hell for that man to come in and take one of them children off their hands. And this is why he goes to the father and say, I would like to take your daughter in marriage, whatever the case may be, and take that off their hands. One less mouth to feed. So it was really somewhat applauded, and it was a happy thing for a man to take on a young girl back then in them days in the 30s and 40s and the 50s. Am I right?
David,
Yeah, I'm listening.
Don't you think that it's a
Mind you, I'm being the devil's advocate, but go ahead.
mistake? I'm saying, don't you think it's a mistake for older men? I know, but I think it's a mistake for older men to discount older women. Right? We've been through the same things they've been through. So it means that we have all of that knowledge, we have all of that wisdom, and
I agree.
it's a better match for them.
But here's the thing. What I'm hearing, and I'm just, like I said, I'm being the devil's advocate because I hear the stories a lot. I've been hearing, how it's all negatives from especially elder women. And elder women like yourself have dated older men. I'm not saying you have.
Wait a minute now.
I'm not
Don't call
saying.
me elder.
All right, I'm going. All right, I'm trying to be nice about it. Older. You want me to say older or mature? Let's keep it real. Older women. I'm not sugarcoating. I'm not cuddling this thing. Older women have also been have also dated younger. Older women have also dated older men. Yeah. So
Well,
hold on. Give me
tell
1 minute.
you.
Give me 1 minute.
Go ahead. And I'm 53,
Go ahead.
and I love to be 53. And I've never dated within 5 years of my age, other than the young man I dated. He was 10 years younger. But other than that, I stay within five years.
Right. All right. What I was going to say was not to cut you off.
It's hard to have.
Not to cut you off. I'm trying to stick with my point I had in my head. Older women have dated. Older women have dated older men in their younger years. So go back to the story that was, or the scenario that I just explained to you, that when you walked in the room as a young girl, you heard the whispers of those older women who was somewhat a little jealous of what? Your youthful power. You were born with your value. And then as they got older, their attention started dwindling, because now those older men were looking at women in your age bracket. The women that was 30, the men that was 35 years old, looking at women like you that was 25, that was 22 years old. And that's been going on since the beginning of time. And believe it or not, older men would not even go after younger women if the younger women would not long for and want older men. And why do younger women want older men? It's because they are wiser, they are leaders, they got themselves together, they know how they have the ability to provide now and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? See, no one talks about that part. Some men like younger women because they're more cooperative, but with the older women say, instead of cooperative, they say they want to control them. They want to manipulate. They use those terminologies. But yet, when they were young, it was all good with them dealing with older men. You feel me? You see what I'm saying? When they was young, it was all good. But once they got older, now they look at themselves outside of themselves, looking at that young girl, knowing the power she has, and what they call, oh, look at that little huzzy. That little huzzy. Oh, she a huzzy now. Oh, she a huzzy now. Oh, they a huzzy. But you wasn't a huzzy when you was getting all that attention. You know what I mean? You wasn't a little heifer then. You know what I mean? But now that you're older, all she want to do is get his money. Why? Is that a deflection? Because that's what you were doing. I'm speaking not to you in particular. I'm speaking to the older women in general. You understand? Yeah. So let's go to the chat. Hold on for a minute, Adele. Yolanda says, absolutely nothing wrong with that. Love has no number. Love has no number between two people of legal age. I agree. Thank you for that comment, Yolanda. Yolanda also said, men go after older women because they feel that they are more mature and they are at a point where they really ready to settle down. Okay, good point as well. Yolanda also says, women are stubborn and set in their own ways and sometimes don't know how to let a man lead. That's a fact. What else Yolanda said? She also said, by an older wise woman that's 10 years age difference. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. You notice how women have no problem with saying stuff like that. Like if she's 10 years older, she's say 30 and he's 20, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Why? Because Stella got a groove back. Notice that? You notice that, right? Younger women need and want stability in their lives until they find out some older men still have young minds. Okay, and that's a fact. But we always look at the spectrum of the negatives, the extreme negatives. Never look at the positives. Yeah, real talk. Yeah. What you think about that?
Well, I still think that people, young men and young women in their 20s, are still too young to make those type of decisions.
Right.
Once you get a little older, um, it levels out.
Mm-hmm.
But I will tell you that if you are 40 and you're set in your career, by the time 40, most people are set in their careers.
Mm-hmm.
You have a 30-year-old that's just growing in their career. You can help guide them, but what you are going to miss is someone who can connect with you on an intellectual level because they're just learning. So you're going to miss that. I mean, it's a trade-off. If you are okay
Well, if you think about it,
with not being able to come home and talk to your mate and for them to understand what you're going through, then
but if you
it's
think
okay.
about it, as you said, you know, and people say, and it's been proven that women mature quicker than men. So if a woman is
They
25
do.
and the guy is 33, 34, would they be maybe on the same level?
They might be.
Yeah, because her
They might
maturity,
be,
yeah, because
depending on
right,
the experience of the young lady.
right. So I think that would probably even out. You know what I mean? And that there are relationships like that where it's the intelligence, the maturity, you know what I mean, is definitely evened out. So like I said, we always look at the negatives. We never see the positives. But there's a lot of positive relationships that has been going on since the beginning of time that is successful with the age gap of a man being older. But if you look at the relationships that has older women with the man younger, it becomes a disaster because the women cannot naturally, instinctively follow a man who can't lead and he's immature. But they can get all the sex they want at that time. And that's what it be most time. The whole idea of Stella having a groove back is about that wood. Let's be real. Let's be real. Let's keep it real. You know, sometimes women don't have no problem with coming. And so if that young boy got her doing that constantly, that's her due for a while until it goes into that mode that you talk about, far as the intelligence, the conversations, the not having the same mindset, nothing in common. That thing dwindles after a while. Now she's not just looking for that. Now she's looking for something else. Because that wears off. Like you said, the sex, it basically wears off. But what don't wear off is the natural instinct in the man and the woman for those roles. A natural role, which is one to lead, one to provide, one to protect, and one to follow, one to be the nurturer, you know what I mean, in the family, or the nurturing the man as well, and all that good stuff. So that's a natural thing in both men and women. They have a certain role. You can't, just like the law says one thing, but the natural instinct says another. You feel me?
I agree.
Okay.
I
So,
agree.
no doubt. So, what else you have to say regarding this topic? And if anybody else want to speak on this topic, please call, because it's going to be difficult for me to constantly read off of the chat. Right now, I'm seeing my chat getting stuck here and there. And before you leave, I'm gonna play another one. No, I did play that. I played it already. Okay. Yeah, I played that already. Oh, here's another one. Check this one out. Here we go. Bong, bong.
You rather have a young, inexperienced, possibly naive and immature young woman who has not really accomplished anything. Maybe she hasn't found her own way. She hasn't made anything of herself just yet. Why would you want that over a woman who is older, wiser, more experienced, and more independent? She's not going to take all your money. She doesn't need you, but she wants you.
A guy values a woman's sexual purity above all things because
Facts.
we can build off of that. Guys want a woman with low body count first and foremost. That's the ultimate flex. Not how much you can throw it down on him fucking doggy style, or how much you can throw that ass back, or your BBL, or your fucking 1900 lip injections. None of that shit matters. Are you a hoe or are you not a hoe? And if you're not a hoe, guess what? Gold tier status.
Why would you rather have a young, inexperienced, possibly
All
naive?
right. So, what do you say to that?
When it comes to, when he said he wants someone, the low body count.
Right.
I mean, really?
Yeah. Yeah. And see, and that's the thing. Is like women most times don't care what a man wants. Most times, most women or most situations, they look at the relationship as the relationship is for them solely. And this is one of the things that, one of the reasons why some men go after the younger women, because it's easy. It's, how they say it's easier. Women say it's easier. Oh, she easy. But men don't look at it like it's easy. They look at it like she's more cooperative. She's more cooperative.
But if you are in the right relationship with a person that has a like-minded, you're going to find someone that's cooperative.
Right.
Women of all ages are willing to be cooperative.
Right. If they are,
it's
they are.
just that the energy that the man is bringing to the relationship.
Or maybe it's the energy that the woman have naturally from the relationship she's already had. And this is why it's important of the body count. So men want to most times go after women who don't have that many bodies. Why? It's not.
You can't assume that people in their 20s don't have high body count.
Of course, especially today. What?
I'm just assuming that.
No, but I'm saying that's why the dude said it's a flex when they get with a woman who don't have.
Why does he need that? Is it because he's not performing well in the
No,
bedroom?
It's a flex. Meaning, I'm gonna go back a little bit. When many years ago, when a man dealt with a woman who is a virgin, that's a flex, Adele. That's like, whoa, I got something valuable. I got something nobody had. And that is in the nature of them feeling like, wow, nobody never had this. And that's valuable to them. And it goes on to this day. You can't take that part of the nature out of a man. It's impossible. This is why women don't understand that.
Meanwhile, these same men have been sowing their oats since they were like 13.
Hey, I didn't make up the rules. I didn't make the dynamics of the DNA. But it is what it is. It's the way of the world. It's a perspective. You know what I mean?
Double standard.
Hey, it's a double standard also when it comes to women. There's some things that women are able to do that men can't. there are situations where women are, could be taken care of, will be walking down the block, and somebody gonna look out for them if if they have a problem with their car. But a man is like, yo, you on your own. I don't know. You know what I mean? But you'll get more people coming to the women to help. It's, you know what I mean? It's just the way of the world. That's just how it go. You know what I mean? We can't change that. Yeah, we can't change that, and that's just how it is. And that's been going on since the beginning of the time. So at the end of the day, everyone has a role. You know what I mean? And most women don't want a man who can't lead, who can't provide. And men don't usually get their value until they're a little older, in their 35s and 40. You know what I mean? And that's when they become valuable the way that you were when you was in your 20s. In your teens, you were valuable. Teens and 20s, you were valuable. You was, and with the men, some men that was your age couldn't even get with you because too many of the men that had their shit together was coming at you, and you was picking and choosing. Am I right? You was picking and choosing, and the thing about it, the women that are older now, they understand what I'm saying, but they're not going to admit it. They know they was picking and choosing. They know they had mad options at 18, 19, 20, 21, 25, 28, 30. They had mad options. You wouldn't even deal with the guys that was your age. And now those guys that's your age is at that point where they are valuable now. And now they're picking and choosing because the younger women see the value in them. That's what's going on.
Are they valuable, or are they just still more valuable?
No. There are men. Men become a little more valuable in their 40s when they got their career going on, they got their maturity going on, they have got their education going on, they got their body together, they even start looking better and all that good stuff. So they become a little more valuable. You know what I mean? They got their confidence up and all that good stuff. So, and younger women see that. Elder women see it too. But now the men have options to choose who they want to deal with. And this is why they don't want to.
You might have a point. I never thought about it like that.
Exactly. This is why they have the option to choose who the hell they want to choose now, just like you and your generation of women had in their teens and 20s. That's what's going on. This is why some women can't find men. Because they can't find the man that really wants to deal with them now, and this is the truth. This is not no hocus pocus. This is, and sometimes women tend to be in their own head, thinking like they are in their 18s and 20s, like they used to be. It becomes a delusion, and they think they still have that gravitational pull on those men, but they don't. And the reality shows it now, and this is why they become mad and angry and look at them like, oh, y'all mess with them young girls. Young girls can't do nothing for you. You understand? But they were young at one time too. So like I said, men are now picking and choosing who they want to deal with. And those guys that's in their 40s and 50s don't want to deal with some of the girls that's 40s and 50s.
No.
You know what I mean? Anybody want to call in, you can call in and chime in on this topic. 973-433-5666. You got anything else to say on this topic, my sister? Adele, you there?
I don't. I'm here. I think I've learned a lot, but
okay.
I still date men who are within my range. Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's what's up.
I date men within my range.
Oh, you do?
I don't have a problem finding them.
But yeah, you definitely don't have a problem with finding them and dealing with them. But the thing about with some women, not you in particular, but the problem is some men just want to have sex and a companion, but not really want to just be with you and build. You get it?
Mhm.
Yeah. So now, when a woman a woman that's younger, 25, 28, you get the men that's in their 30s. They want to build. They want stability. There's some men that want stability. They want a family.
A woman that's their but a woman that's their own age is already going to have all of that.
Right.
They're going to already have that.
That's
They're going
true.
to be established.
Right.
So you don't have to build with them.
Exactly.
All you have to do is come and enjoy life.
But
it
you
seems
know,
like an easier
yeah.
path to me, but
Hold on for 1 minute. I'm gonna try to merge this call in. Hold on.
Call. Accept. Press 1. To send a
You did, Adele?
I'm still here.
Hello?
Yeah, Rashid, what's good with you? Let's welcome Rashid. Peace and blessings. Much love and respect. Thank you for chiming in, my brother. I appreciate you. Yeah, so I'll get right back to you real quick, Adele. I want to hear what Rashid has on the topic of why men tend to want to date, court, marry younger women than themselves.
That's very interesting because I mean it's very layered, and I think there's always exceptions to the rules. Unfortunately, I think what happens in those situations that a lot of females fall in love with the exception, not the rule. Men have always liked younger women.
Always.
That's just it. That's all.
Yeah.
It's in our biological nature to want to be able to produce, and you have more viable options for females that are younger. It is what it is. When you're deciding as a older man to be with an older woman, you've either accepted everything about her past, you've accepted everything about your past, of course, because you have to judge it by that as well. But the biggest issue is you have to be willing to be comfortable with that person. When you're dating a younger woman, you're looking for children, you're looking for other things, excitement and things like that. There's a lot of things being brought to the table, and I think what women lose most out is not understanding what men really want. So they'll go after accolades that don't mean anything for us, and then they get to a certain age, and it's just like, well, why don't you take these things into account? Well, because your money doesn't provide for me if I'm a man that provides for myself, but my money provides for you. There's certain things you're going to want. There's certain things you're going to need. For you to attract that kind of man, you have to be in your feminine energy, and it's very easy for me to get a feminine woman who has always been feminine because she's youthful in her femininity than someone who has learned to dull it down or just remove it out of their lives completely.
Damn, that was a loaded answer. What you think about that, Adele?
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Well,
I'm listening.
I just have to say, as a woman, and I've always been a pretty strong woman, I never believed that women should have to down themselves for anything.
Explain that. Down themselves. What do you mean, down themselves?
I mean, I was never. I thought he used that terminology.
No, I did not.
My femininity, me being feminine is it's just a part of who you are. Either you are or you aren't. But I would never not be myself to be with a man.
Well, I think what Rashid was saying was basically the femininity basically becomes dull after a while because of what they have gone through with other men, and then with the younger women, they're more fresh in their femininity, so they naturally want to be giving and nurturing and understanding and cooperative versus the woman that has been gotten older and now she's a little more harder because she dealt with so many.
Believe that.
What do you mean?
Because
may I interject?
Go ahead.
Women who are older.
Hold on, Rashid. Let her finish it.
Yep. Women who are older are nurturing. That's just who we are.
Okay, interject, Rashid.
All right, so there was a couple things in there. For one, just wanted to clarify, like these words do matter, and I'm not going to pick on the words, and I'm not picking on you, and I hope that's not what you would take from this. But you started off by saying I'm a strong-minded woman, right? I ended with saying that females don't understand what men want in the sexual marketplace. Men don't want strong.
Facts.
Because we consider that to be a masculine energy. And then we're talking on the topic of femininity, and you're saying females shouldn't have to sacrifice. Well, if you're feminine, there's no sacrifice.
Right, that's who you are.
If what you said, if who you are is who you are, then you don't have to come down.
Right.
Because that's where you have been elevated. And we need to understand that being feminine is not being, we demonize submissive. We demonize, being able to follow a lead. We demonize, taking a step back. It doesn't mean that you're less than. Maybe you're just living. Maybe a female's fullest potential sometimes is being able to know that she's secure in that feminine energy to where she never has to turn it off. But life teaches you. Life teaches you to turn that off based off of decisions and things like that. You get to a point where you feel like you can't just naturally be in that feminine state. Does that happen to younger women? Does it happen to older women? That's the point.
That's a great point, brother. That's a great point.
Younger women are naturally in their feminine energy because they have not experienced anything that would tell them that they have to become anything outside of it.
Woo!
But when you do, then you have to understand that there's a viewpoint for that. And not to pick on the words, but just starting off with I'm strong, it's like, well, I'm not intimidated by it. What I'm saying is at the end of the goddamn day, like I've been strong all day. I want to come home to something soft. I don't want you to be practicing and being hard. I want you to be soft. I want that feminine energy. And if I can get you at a point where you have no burdens, no liabilities, and you don't have a mindset that, like this is the way men are and men are all the same way or type of thinking, then I might be a little bit more fancy to that. And that typically happens with younger women. Outside of the fact that they have other advantages as well, like they can have kids. After 36, women have a hard time having children. What does that man want? If he wants children, then is he willing to sacrifice that with a strong woman? All right, you can't give me kids or we're going to have complications. Do I want to deal with a strong woman and not still get what I want? It's natural to want your best option.
Let me
There's
introduce
nothing wrong with
this
us
to you.
wanting our best option.
Okay.
That's
so
right.
Someone who's 20, as you said, she's still feminine. No. She's 20, she's still in her femininity. When I was 20, I was probably a little bit more in mine. But what I'm saying is by the time you get to 50, the option of you keeping more of your strength and less of your feminine ways is a survival method.
Agreed.
Right? Just going
Based off
to
of trauma.
work every day. Going to work every day.
You heard what he said? Did you hear what he said, Adele? He said true.
He
based
thinks it's an
based
option, but
off of trauma.
Going. I'm saying no. It might not have to be trauma, but it could just be life, right? Having gone through life, and I'm not even going to say my relationship. I've had great relationships, but I'm saying having going to work and needing to be a Black female will inherently push you to be stronger. You have to build up because you know what? You will not survive. You will not survive, especially if you want to go to work and you want a career and you want to move up. You cannot be that soft woman.
But what does that have to do with the relationship with that man?
Oh, that has everything to do with that.
What I'm
relationship
saying
with that
is
man.
all of that builds into who she is.
No.
Go ahead, Rashid.
Into who she is.
No. You've made us, and I respect your point, and I don't mean to interject in any kind of way.
Go ahead.
But you You definitely just defined it was a choice. If you want to climb that corporate ladder, if you want to, go out there in the world where people are going to judge you based on your femininity and your race, and you want to go out there and you want to hustle and bustle, you have to become something that's more conducive to that and not more conducive to a relationship. So if we have to really unpack that, you've made a choice. You've made a choice. In order for me to be able to do this in this energy, and I have to sacrifice being feminine in order for me to perform at a higher level at whatever it is that I'm choosing over my femininity, you've made a choice. So at 50, it's like, well, I have a hardship and you have to become hard. Well, if there's another man that's at 50 years old, and as his brother said brilliantly, men get it late. Females can be born with something that a man desires very early on, period. You will always have an option, Queen. A man has to earn one. So when he gets to the point where he feels like he's earning one, he's not going to want to become second to anything. Oh, you can't be your feminine best because you have to go out here in the world and hustle and bustle? So what
Great
are the
point.
other options? What are the other options? So maybe instead of going after a woman who is primarily focused on her own advancement, I go find someone who is focused on my advancement, knowing that I'm going to provide her a life that she doesn't have to hustle and bustle.
Wow,
That brings
nice.
to my first point. Someone who's 20 doesn't give you the option to know who you really want to be. You are interjecting her growth.
But
We've been
How do
doing
you
this
know that she
for
wouldn't want to grow?
thousands and thousands of years.
And
You
it's
talk
been
about
working.
Black women, and let's get into our culture. Let's get into our culture because older men have always typically married younger women.
That's a fact.
Our culture. We can
That's a
also go
fact.
into polygamy, but we're not going to touch that. We're not going to touch that. So we're talking about maybe an older man is going to benefit from that woman, and she's going to be able to provide him a legacy, and she's going to learn who she is through that man as well.
You better
Some
teach.
females don't have a problem with following. A lot of them have, want to actually have somebody that they can depend on enough and submit to enough to feel like I trust him to be able to push me in this so I never have to come out of my
That's a
femininity.
good point. That's a very good point, Rashid. I like that point you made just now. That was deep.
What's wrong with a woman that has her own internal drive?
And what's wrong with a woman who don't mind
Her own internal
following?
drive. It doesn't mean that you can't submit in some areas. It just means that you still have your internal drive. It doesn't mean that you can't submit, but it just means that you have your own internal things that drive you. You can't assume that even though I said I'm a strong woman, and I am, I'm not going to hide that fact. Anybody who knows me, that's the first thing they would tell you. But
You're
it doesn't
personally
mean
affirming it
that
right
I can't.
now.
But does it? But
I can't be.
But here's the thing.
A good wife or a good spouse.
The thing about it, Adele, does it benefit your relationship with a man? Is the issue?
Your strongest attribute that you said over and over again was strength.
I've had great relationships. I was married.
You've had great relationships.
To my children's
plural?
father. We had really good relationships.
You said that you've had great relationships, plural.
Plural.
Multiple.
Right.
Yeah. So people, there's nothing wrong with having more than one relationship. People don't always get married and stay married forever.
Would you say to that?
I mean, I've been in the same relationship that I've been in for about 7 years. I mean, there is no sneezing at that.
What are the other options? I just think that it's interesting because I see the way that the conversation just starts to change. Well, there's nothing wrong with being strong or having your own drive. And anyone that asks me about me, they'll tell you that I'm strong and strong and strong and strong. It's a defining point that we're starting to understand.
Well, Rashid,
and there's nothing wrong with it.
Go to the chat.
I said was,
go to the chat real quick. Hold on. Yolanda Troy said the problem is keeping them. Great point, Yolanda Troy.
I think that's
I
the
don't
thing.
see that if you are a strong woman, that you can't also be nurturing. The very
How many strong
nature
women are
of
in
my
healthy
nature is
relationships that
nurturing.
you know? How many strong women do you know that are in relationships with men that they want to be with?
I'm in a relationship with a man that I want to be with. I'm in a relationship with a man that I want to be with.
Y'all
Else I
live
wouldn't be in a
y'all live
relationship.
together?
We do.
Okay.
And there's nothing wrong
My
with that. That's a
children's
beautiful
father,
thing.
we were together for 20 something years before we both mutually decided
That's
that
what's up.
And that's a beautiful thing.
there's nothing wrong with a strength of a woman. It doesn't mean that you can also be nurturing. It doesn't mean that you can also be soft
Okay.
But when she defines and publicly
when you
addresses
need to
and
be.
affirms her strength, when she
All I'm
affirms her
saying
strength,
is this.
yeah.
All I'm saying is this, that life does not always allow Black women to stay soft all the time.
Yeah, life doesn't allow Black men to ever not be strong.
Right.
How do you survive in this and not be strong as a Black man? So I understand the
I
cultural
agree.
representation, and I can respect that. I think what happens, and I'm not saying that you're doing this at all. I think what happens with a lot of our Black women is they tend to lean a little bit more to femininity than they do culturally, to be 100% honest, because in culture, it's defined just a little bit different. There's nothing wrong with being a strong Black woman. It's what you're defined as. You don't have to declare that. We wouldn't be able to survive without strong Black women,
Facts.
period. So it is what
Facts.
it is. And a man can pay homage to a Black woman, but there's some point where we start to understand that at the same time that we uplift and we push towards the strength of Black women, we do not do the same thing to the strength for Black men culturally.
Right.
So a Black man has to find what it is to define himself, to put himself apart and make sure that he stands out. He has to maintain his integrity. He has to work. He has to do a whole bit. Life has requirements. What I'm saying is, as strong and as proud as you are for being a strong Black woman, a Black man does not require that of you. You require that of a Black man. A Black man might just want a female that can just be chill, hang out, have great conversation, and she brings that to the table.
That's
and what
enough.
she sees
Yeah.
as that as being valuable is peace.
Yolanda says,
And maybe that's all he wants.
right, excuse me. Yolanda says, but the women become strong in the wrong areas, honestly.
I mean, at the end of the day, when you're giving nothing but power, you have to be able to understand that you're not going to be willing to concede that power. So that's really what's going on. And I think that even the conversation is a struggle that I wouldn't naturally have to have with a younger woman.
Facts. This is what I meant when I talked to her and explained to her about how most women take the idea of a man dating a woman 7, 8, 9, 10 years younger. They look at it more like, oh, he just want to manipulate and control her. And I explained to her, no, it's more like she's more cooperative.
So you would rather have a relationship with somebody. I'm saying you would rather have a relationship with someone that you would never get any pushback or who won't have the experiences that you do to counter.
Didn't you?
And advise you too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yes.
That's
okay.
a fact.
Yes.
That's a fact.
Then that's the. I mean,
yes.
I don't date
and
men.
Here's the
I would
secret.
never date
All
a
men
man who would never take my opinion.
No, we didn't say that. You didn't say that.
No, that's different.
You talk about something totally different subject now.
You can't mix the two.
Yeah, you talking about a whole different subject. Pushback is different than yeah.
Well,
not being able to compartmentalize.
Every time
that.
a man says something, it doesn't mean that it's right. That's all I'm saying.
Here's the whole thing. Men are told that they're wrong all the time, and men take it without any consequence. LeBron James and everyone else that's on the Olympic team right now, they make more money than the coach. Guaranteed. but they're learning how to take orders and how to take structure. Men do it at the workplace. Men do it on teams. Men do it on golf. Men take instruction all the time. And we never feel, well, I don't think that my opinion should never matter, or this, then, a third. The coach is the coach, and we trust that the coach has the amount of experience to see us through this, so we're going to follow. It doesn't mean that we follow without question. It doesn't mean that we're submissive, without any kind of thought that goes into it. We don't believe that females are imbeciles. In actuality, you're supposed to be our backbone, our helpmates, the people that teach us. You know what I mean? Like, hey, babe, maybe a softer approach is going to go there. You don't tell me, no, you're wrong, this, that, and the third. You don't have to say that to me. You can speak life into me and control my temperament based off of your femininity alone.
Woo! Come on.
Why do I need you to be in a position? Why do I need you to be in a position of authority for me to be able to listen to you?
Yeah. So just let me get this right. So because I said I'm a strong female, you would automatically assume that if I'm talking to my mate, that I'm forcing myself on him.
Absolutely not. I never made that distinction. No, I never made that distinction. So you're right. It's not true. I never said that at all. What I'm saying, and for one, I just really want you to separate yourself from it. I'm speaking generally, and this is how men generally think. When I said the marketplace and how men, what we're saying is men would tend to go with a younger woman because she's not pliable, not manipulative. No, because she might be more easier going to understand my path and decide whether or not she's willing to take this journey with me.
This is a fact.
Woman has already had her mind stuck on something and says this what it is. She not only wants an input, she wants to direct it.
She wants to control it. She wants to control it.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, but you have to understand at the end of the day, every organization has one coach. Every country has one president. And if you're with the type of male, that sees himself as a leader, then you are his number one counsel. You're not a co-leader. Co-leaders don't exist. So either you want to be with a man that you can lead and be happy, if you can be happy with that, or you want to be with a man that can lead you.
But most times they're not happy with the man that they can lead. Most times they're not happy with the man that they can lead. That's a womp.
But why can't we be in a partnership where sometimes I would expect him that there are times when I need to be checked, that he will come and say, hey, Adele, you did right over here, you didn't do the right thing.
Listen to this. Listen to this. Look at what. Hold on for a minute. Let me intervene. Yolanda Troy says some women feel like they're so wise that they are right about everything.
But she's right by some, because that's not all, right?
Right. She says some.
That's some. That's not all.
Right.
It does happen. It does happen. I had a question based off of what you said, Adele. Beautifully said, by the way. Here's the whole thing. You're saying being partners. Cool. Why can't we be partners? Great. All right. Now, an intruder breaks into our house. I beat the living hell out of the last one, baby. It's your go. Be partners.
Your turn.
Go downstairs, go handle that work. Is that okay?
That's fine. I am definitely. Hey, somebody break into this house.
You would never respect a man.
You would never respect a man.
You would never respect a man. That's clout. You would never respect a man.
That's capping. She capping.
No, that was.
Say that again.
You triggered my trap card.
I can't hear him, baby.
You triggered my trap card. You triggered my trap card. I said you triggered my trap card. There's no way you would ever respect a man to send you downstairs to protect the family. No, you wouldn't. So So there's certain things where partnerships don't make sense.
Great perspective,
but
brother.
At the same time, if somebody broke into the house, I'm almost certain I wouldn't let my man be down there by himself.
So in your current situation, absolutely, I can see that. But in your previous situation, because you were married and for 20 some odd years, or whatever, your job isn't to be next to me. Your job is to protect the kids. If anything gets by me, You take care of them. That's your job. It's not your job to be by me. Most of the time, we stand and we take that by ourselves because that's what men do. So what I'm saying is, if you want an equal partnership, I think females are tasting equality right now and not liking it.
They're not liking it. That's a fact. Yeah, that's a fact.
Because we go
Great
on
point.
a date right now, Adele. We go on a date right now. You'll look at me differently if I say we go Dutch after the first date. Dutch means that we split the bill.
Well, you
First
know
date.
what? When I used to date, I've always had my own money because let me tell you,
We
don't
respect
tell them
that.
what
Men
these
don't care
men are
about it,
doing
though.
these days.
We respect it. We don't care about it. Your money was to make sure if he went to the bathroom and ditched out the window, you could still go home with your dignity. It was not about a man inviting you out. You had an expectation. And what I'm saying is men have expectations. And when we say what our expectations are, they're often vilified.
So, Rashid, do me the favor and explain again, what do men, or why do men date younger women, for those who just chiming in?
Men date younger women because they have not experienced enough of what's wrong with life to include that in their life. Men value peace, period. So if they can find it with a young woman, it's just that it's a wider pool. Then find it with an older woman who hasn't come to terms with certain things that are going to make him feel comfortable. I don't want to have to go back and forth with you. I don't want to fight over who's leading this partnership or this, that, and the third. A man. Now, we're talking about boys, simps, punks, all these other males out here, then that's fine. But when women declare that they want men, you have to earn him. And with younger women, they're much more receptive to following a competent man than an older woman is by following a competent man.
Why do women have to earn men? Men are supposed to earn women.
That's wrong.
And if
What
I
is
did
that
earn you, what are you willing to?
That
If I
dichotomy
earn you, what
sounds
do
a
you give
little
me back?
backwards.
If I earn, okay, fair point. If I have to earn you, what do I get in return then? You're the prize. That's what you're saying. So in order for me to get you attracted, in order for you to be attracted to me, I have to have a certain kind of work ethic. I have to have a certain type of grooming. I have to have a certain type of personality. I have to check all of these marks. So if I am that, and I am that, and I had to earn you, what do I get in return?
But I think men have the same checklist.
No.
Answer the question. Answer the question.
If I have to earn you, if I have to earn you, and I have to do all these things to become the man to get your, because even to get your attention, I have to be something. So if I have to earn you, okay, I work, I bust my ass. If I do that at my job, they give me a raise. I work, I bust my ass on the team. If I do that, they give me a starting position. I work and I bust my ass in any other, like, there's a reward. What do I get? If I have to bust my ass to earn you, what do I get in return?
Good question.
I think that,
what do I get?
I think that women definitely have to bring something to the table.
No. What?
You
I don't
definitely
want
have to bring
generalities.
something
What?
to the table.
What?
I mean,
Gotcha.
Well, first of all, we also have to be secure in our spot.
What do he get? What do he get?
I even have to make you feel secure. So, you got to be secure in your spot. So I have to make you feel secure.
Wow.
All of those things I said, all of those qualities, all those checkboxes. What do I get in return? Stop talking about what you want.
Right.
What do I get in return? And is it of equal value for me having to bust my ass to earn you?
Well, I think that women who are valuable bring that value. You bring security. You bring that love.
What?
You bring that nurturing. You bring that just making a man better than what he would be. Thinking, talking to him. Women bring all the soft skills that men may not have.
Give me a valuable skill that a man that we just described already has everything that you said.
Everything, he got that already by
We
himself.
give
He
you
got
the
that.
security. We give you the. He already got it. He already got it.
Right.
So I have to earn you, right? I have to do all these. I have to become all of those things you said you can give me. I had to get all of that by myself in order to earn you.
Facts.
Okay.
But don't
Now,
you
all
think
those things you
women,
mentioned,
Let
women
him
should
let him
also
finish.
have the
Let him
same
finish.
thing?
Let him finish the point, and then you go after him.
all I'm saying is everything that you mentioned is something I already bring to the table. It's the only way that I got you at the table. I have to earn you, right? We're going by your logic. I have to earn you. You're the prize. Okay. I get the prize. When I open it up, what do I get that I don't have already or I can't do for myself? I know what I have to be the man for you. I have to earn you. There's a whole bunch of checks. All right, cool. I did it. What do I get?
Well, I would say that all the things that you're bringing, I also already have. But I would
Yeah,
say
but
that
you
all
don't
the
have
things
to
that
earn
you
me.
said,
You don't have to
I
earn me.
also bring.
I have to earn you.
But I would say women usually bring the softness to relationships.
What's soft that a woman brings to a relationship that is of equal value of a
Women
man having to
should
earn a
bring
woman?
comfort to their man. He should bring comfort to their man. She should, when he comes home and complains about that day, he's listening and saying, "Oh, it's going to be all right." That's
So
what
I
women
can
bring.
replace a woman. I can replace a woman with a dog and a therapist. Is what you just said.
Okay. Well, if that's what you think will work for you, some people have done it.
A dog and a therapist. You know how easy it is to get a dog, and you know how easy it is to get a therapist.
True.
And then that's what's wrong with the logic of I am the prize. That a man is supposed to earn a woman, etc. Women don't even know what a man wants most.
Well, I
I can
only
give
said
you a
it because
hint.
you said that women.
Go ahead, and let's quote me correctly, please. Go ahead.
I only responded because you said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I only said it because you were inferring that men are the prize. I'm saying women are the prize.
But he broke down to you why the man is possibly the prize, but he's asking you why are women, break down why you are the prize. But he itemized all of that.
All the things that he said was the prize are things that I already have. I'm saying
Then you don't need a man.
these
You're
are
good.
things that I already have. Maybe a young girl might not have.
There you
it.
go. And this is
But
why
when it
men
comes-
date
when it
younger
comes to-
women. This is the reason right there. The building
absolutely right.
of why men date younger women. Ta-da! There it
They want to
is.
feel valuable.
You summed it up.
Does it make them feel valuable?
Hold on. Check this out. Hold on. When you were younger, didn't you make a man feel valuable? An older man?
When I was younger,
You never,
I dated a man my same age.
but you told me, when you never dated an older man ever.
I've never dated an older man.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap.
No, I'm saying I've never dated.
Stop
older
the
men.
cap.
I've
I can
always
believe it.
dated within
I can
5
believe
years
it.
All right.
of my age.
Mm-hmm. But okay,
Except for
now let
one
me ask you
time
this
I dated
question.
A younger guy.
Let me ask you this question. Did the young boy 10 years younger than you make you feel valuable? Did he bring out that youthfulness in you?
He definitely connected to my party mode.
He
He connected to my party mode.
He connected to your party mode. Did he make you feel good about yourself as a woman?
No, I make my own self feel good about myself as a woman.
Did he sexually make you feel good about yourself and have you orgasm in 2 or 3 or 4 times
I wouldn't say
in
that.
one setting?
I wouldn't say that. No.
You wouldn't say that? You know you capping now.
I've had older men who've done better.
Okay.
I'm not capping. Yeah, no.
another part of that is well, and I'm probably stop here.
Go ahead.
I'm about to tread some dangerous waters.
Go ahead, babe.
Here's the whole thing. Men and this, that, and the third who smash better, multiple orgasms, this, that, and the third. If I mess with a female and I caught her before her body count got to a place where
Oh, Lord.
I didn't think that I could satisfy her. And let's be honest, when men can't satisfy a woman, it has
Multiple.
It's an issue because it's not just because the man is inadequate. It's mainly because she's judging it based off her experience.
Too many experiences.
And the more experiences that she gets, the more she's able to compare. And the more she's able to compare, maybe the more dissatisfied she can become with it.
Mm-hmm.
So if I got my stuff together, why wouldn't I want somebody with closer to a clean slate than someone who's already been experienced in general? Because I can tell
Very
you,
good point.
older women tend to think, my experience, I can put it down. Look, I'm just going to tell you, these younger women have a youthfulness to them and a chemical thing that's going on with them, pH and all that other stuff, that makes it hard to compete with them.
Really good point, brother. Really good point. And I appreciate you chiming in, Rashid, and I appreciate you also for chiming in, Adele. Both of you guys have really good points. And for those who are watching, you can chime in anytime, even after this video. You can put your comments at the bottom of this video anytime you get ready. I appreciate you. For those who are watching, please like the page if you could. Please share the page. Thank you so much. And I would like for you guys to do it as well for the callers. Thank you for the callers for coming on. Welcome again, and I appreciate you coming on to DAP. We will have another discussion on certain topics next week. I think the 30th and the 1st is going to be. On the 30th, we're going to be talking about guys, lies, sex, guys, and lies. Something to that. And on the 1st is going to be some women don't want a relationship, don't want to be committed. Some women don't want that. So we're talking about the 30th and the 1st. So y'all tune in for that. Much love and respect. Thank you guys for chiming in. Appreciate you. To DAP. Peace and blessings.
Talk to you later.
You got it.
Great night.
Much love, respect. So don't forget to pick up your Supreme Sunshine Shea Butter. Much love and respect. The Supreme Sunshine Shea Butter is still in effect. Thank you all for who always support it. Much love. Peace. Peace and blessings.
D.A.P.
David Adams Podcast.